All right, I believe we are live. Thanks everyone for joining in. This is episode 5 of Hoops Hobby Hangout. And I am Ryan, Mindcycle Cards, joined by Adam, Sports Card King. How's it going, Adam?
Doing well.
And tonight we got a few people missing. So we got Steve out actually for the night, and then we got Joey. He's going to be joining us later after he gets home. But we do have a couple special guests with us. We have Evan joining us again, Pristine Paper. How's it going, man?
It's going well. Good to be back. Thanks again.
Thanks. And he's going to be joining us for this entire episode. And we also have Kyle from Wax Museum Podcast. Thanks a lot for joining us, Kyle.
Yeah, it's I don't know if we can fill Steve's shoes, but I'm here nonetheless.
We're going to do our best. Steve always is kind of the comedic relief, so I don't know if we can pull it off, but we'll try. Anyway, tonight we got a fun one. We are going to be discussing the new 2024-25 Panini Silhouette release, which I think has got most of us excited, and mostly just due to the fact that I think there's a lot of players that we haven't seen in a while, like teams that we haven't seen as much, and it is seems to be based on the old Silhouettes design that came out of Preferred. So I picked up a couple, and we'll probably show those off eventually. I know, Kyle, you've done a couple videos on it, which were very interesting. The first one being just like a general overview of kind of what's coming out of the product, some of the patches and stuff that look cool. And then your second video, which is also interesting, you were going over where those relics actually came from. And we see this, probably think this is the big Panini dump at the end of their license, although they have a couple releases left, so we might see more of it. But yeah, Kyle, do you want to kind of kick us off with what got you excited about the product and kind of what you're chasing now?
Yeah, and we definitely are going to see more relics dumped because I've already seen a All-Star pants tag for LeBron James in the new 1-in-1. So they didn't put everything in Silhouette, but Silhouette is very exciting to me because it's essentially Preferred on steroids. For those of you that have been around a while, you remember Panini Preferred, the booklets, the stat line memorabilia, the finals memorabilia. You know, we've known that this license change was going to happen for a while now. We just assumed, based on what we've seen with Topps and Upper Deck, that Panini would end up dumping a bunch of their memorabilia in the process. I mean, it only makes sense. Why keep that in the vault when you can't do anything with it after the fact? So I've really been waiting for this for a while now. They've been slowly rolling some of it out in like National Treasures and the last couple years in Noir and these little small tiny pieces and Select with some of their throwback sets. And it's making me think like there's got to be more coming. There's got to be more coming. And then we saw the sell sheet for Silhouette, which had like Christmas Day tags. I immediately in my mind, I'm like, all right, that matches up with the Christmas Day set from Season Update and some of the other stuff they've done. So we knew that it had to be all the leftover stuff. So I know Silhouette is not for everyone. It's for my caliber of player. It's the George Hills, the Danny Grangers, the Buddy Hields, the Monta Ellis, all those guys. If you like star players, if you like legends, if you like old timers, with the exception of Dale Ellis, this product is not for you, probably. Those relics will probably get dumped elsewhere. Who knows where? I'm guessing some of the higher end stuff, but I could ramble on about this forever. So that, in a nutshell, is why I'm very excited about Silhouette.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, that's kind of the same for me, is just seeing some of the older players that we haven't seen in a while. Like Nuggets have Paul Millsap, for example, and Gary Harris, which let's see if I can find that one. This is one I picked up recently, this nice Adidas patch for Gary Harris. It's just kind of cool seeing that because I can't remember the last time I've seen a Gary Harris Nuggets card, probably a couple of years ago. And another one I collect is Gallinari. Here's a little relic of his from his time on the Hawks. So that's been a while. So that's kind of more or less what got me interested in, I guess, is just the fact that it's players we don't see a whole ton. Sure, there's the LeBron in it. And I think I saw like all the listings you see on eBay with like the cool Curry patch. So they got a couple of those in there. They got cool final stuff. But yeah, what got me excited was just the fact that you could get cool patches from like players you don't see a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely stars in there, so I don't want to say that they're not in there, but they're not to the extent of your Gallinaris and your Paul Millsaps and all that stuff. I do want to point out you showed your Adidas logo there. I'm sporting an Adidas era Pacers warm up here in support of Silhouette, because there are a lot of warm up cards, a lot of warm up pieces in Silhouette. So I thought, you guys are always wearing jerseys or whatever. So I thought I would wear that tonight.
I like it. And so, you going to make us guess the player? Does it have a number?
I did. I already had Evan guessing some stuff for me this week, but I think I could give you the initials of this player and you probably still wouldn't guess it. But I'll let you, you know what? I'll give you the first letter of the first name is R.
I have Rodney Stuckey coming out for some reason.
That is a good guess. That's the right era, a few years later than this person, but that is not correct.
Okay.
Ron Artest?
Is not Ron Artest. Yeah, no.
What do you got, Adam?
I can't think of anybody.
I'll give you another hint. This player is no longer living.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I know that kind of brought the mood down. Sorry about that.
Huh.
Was out Rakeem Christmas.
I was going to say Rakeem Christmas.
Rakeem is still alive and well, as far as I know.
Gosh, yeah, I'm stumped on that one for sure. So I will defer to Ryan or Adam.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm looking in the chat here. Not Joe Young, not Rakeem Christmas.
I just have to bring up like Google AI or something. All the R names in the Pacers.
All right, I will not force us to go through all that. I don't want to waste a bunch of time, but it's Rasul Butler of all people. Yeah, okay. Rasul Butler. So that's what the listing said when I bought it, and it's got the number 8 written on the tag here. Adidas, nice. Chunky Adidas tags, nice laundry tags, nice logos. There's a logo man piece on the back. This is a prime relic card source material relic right here.
How does it fit? Does it fit pretty well?
It's a little large. I don't wear this in public.
Got it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's the only time I get to show off my jerseys is like on here, because I don't wear them out anywhere except for games. So I'll let you guys guess this one.
Oh, that's Gary, right?
Yeah. And I just showed his card, so that's an easy one. But
now, if you hadn't shown the number, it would have been tougher, because I don't know if I would have guessed him during the Western Union era.
Oh yeah, that was kind of his last year. So for those of you listening to the audio portion, it's the Mile High City, the kind of bluish. It's got the Western Union patch. Yeah, so that was, I think it was the last season was 1920. I do believe, before he got traded. So yeah, I think they had just acquired them as the sponsor. So, but yeah, it's cool you wear that jersey as well, because we're seeing a lot of the Adidas stuff, like the Gary Harris I showed. We're seeing the tags a lot. Seems like some teams have many tags.
Right.
Like, what was it, the one you showed, the Karl Anthony Towns, or almost every other one is
a dual numbered to 99, and everyone I've seen so far is tags, which is just crazy. Now, speaking of warm-ups and Silhouette, we'll bring this back to what Adam's wearing right now. Adam, you've got on a shirt, Bill Walton shirt, right? And that was only worn during the 2024 finals. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So Silhouette, even though we've said it's a bunch of leftover stuff, they did get relics from the 2024 finals and warm-ups, just warm-ups, actually. Not the Celtics, unfortunately, but they did get Maverick stuff. So kudos to Panini for that. They really could have gone out and just mailed it in with whatever they had left, but they went and they actually got some new warm-ups. So I was very happy to see that.
Yeah, that was cool. I saw recently somebody posted I think number 3 tag of Kyrie. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I've seen a duel of Luka and Kyrie. It's like a screen printed. It's basically like a trim piece or whatever you want to call it. It looks like that, but it's up for a crazy amount of money. I think that's another aspect of this set that we kind of haven't really talked about before, is how expensive some of the cards are listed for. And then, you know, and then the next day they drop in price by like 20%. And
Yeah.
definitely interesting.
Those are actually, it does look like trim. Those are actually, it's like the outline of the state of Texas from the back of the warm up. I think it was I want to say that was a warm up that was like a city edition after, was there a shooting in Fort Worth? Am I getting that confused?
Probably.
I think that's why they had that specific city edition at the time. I will have to verify that. But anyway, I know it's the outline of Texas because there's a heartbeat in the middle of it too, which is where a lot of the jumbo relics have come from.
Yeah, I think that's interesting you bring up the price too, because it was supposed to debut, I believe, at like $250. And then the first off the line came out and people went nuts. And I think they drove it up over $1,000 or something. Wasn't it something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're breaking this stuff, it's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
So as much as we're excited about it, just this is not us saying go out and go buy a box and go break it.
Yeah, I think singles where it's at, and you probably watched enough breaks, Kyle, given your video content to kind of know what comes out. But it looks like a lot of dud boxes, you know, because they printed a ton of it.
Yeah, and I was dumb enough to enter into a few of them too.
You know, we all probably get into that trap every once in a while.
I've got some napkins on the way. We'll put it that way. Some very expensive napkins on the way.
Yeah, I think my whole goal like in the beginning was like, okay, it first came out, I'm gonna throw a bunch of lowball snipe bids. And I told all you guys before, but I used Gixxon for that. So I just went through and went, all right, $10 on this, 15 on this. And I won like 5 of them or something. And now they creeped up in price. So I'll probably give it a couple weeks till the next release comes out and then might go back after it. That's kind of my strategy at the moment.
Well, it shouldn't take long because 1-in-1, that's already being opened. We've got Eminence, we've got Immaculate, we've got Flawless, we've got Prism Black. And remember, the license was supposed to change in October. I don't think that's happening, but I don't have any definitive info on that. But a lot of stuff coming out between now and the Switch.
Yeah. So if you see a player you like, or you have a player in the set from some old team that you're interested in going after, I'd say like if you see something show up and it's reasonable, maybe go after it, but maybe wait because we will get that price drop, I'm sure, as it always goes.
This is probably like the most uncertain like time right now to like, you know, like it's pretty common, like, you know, wait for, you know, product to kind of die down and, you know, and hype. And then you can kind of swoop in and grab some cool cards. I feel like this is such an uncertain time right now, just given the ambiguity of what's in the silhouette, like the patches, you know, like, you know, something could be numbered to 99 and be, you know, like a logo patch or, you know, a tag. And like, oh, like obviously not all 99 of those are going to be the same tag. So it's like everything is kind of unique in its own way. And like, who knows what's going to happen with like the Immaculate stuff or like the Panini Black, you know, what do they have planned? So it's going to be kind of interesting. You know, it's such a volatile time to like wait or not wait, because you might miss out on something that might not show up again. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Normally you can go in a checklist and see, oh, this is numbered to 5. It's going to be a sponsor tag, or, you know, this is going to be such and such. I've been waiting. I was saving money for a Danny Granger logo man, and I don't think it exists. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can release those funds elsewhere. And I know the moment I do, maybe that card will appear that I've been waiting for.
Right. Well, we've got Joey actually is joining now, so we'll go ahead and add him. What's going on, Joey?
What's up, Joey?
How you guys doing? Finally,
good.
You know how important a 2-year-old's back to school night is, so I had to. I'm a little late.
That's funny. No, well, good to have you.
Oh, of course. Happy. I was telling the guys earlier, like, it feels like it's been so long since last week. So, I mean, I look forward to hanging out every Thursday. So it's cool.
I think you were saying something about you were thinking about joining from the car, and I said, if you really want. So I'm glad you held off.
Yeah, I was like, it's really not that big of a deal.
I was hoping you joined from the car.
Yeah.
I know I wanted to make you proud, but I
See what kind of music you're listening to.
There's a first time for everything. We'll wait for next week.
yeah, I'll try again. I'll try again next week.
So yeah, Joey, we just kind of been going over like kind of what got us excited about Silhouette and what we're chasing, and anything you're going after at the moment, or anything you like about it or dislike.
I mean, the thing that really stood out to me was the high numbered patches and pieces that are typically in things that are low numbered. Like, I heard, I was listening in on you guys as I was driving, and I was like, I heard you guys mention the tags out of 99 and things like that. And Kyle, I saw you picked up a Turner, a Miles Turner tag out of 99.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like stuff like that where typically a tag might cost you a few $100. I'm hoping that, a tag, I could get a King's tag. Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
For a patch out of 99, that's
Nike swoosh to 99. Now the other 98 are not Nike swooshes, but
of course, yeah, and that's fine. And I think you guys mentioned on your podcast, Kyle, that might be some of the issues, like the inconsistencies across the print run. But I just like the ability to potentially get a tag for cheap. Like there's some Kings tags that are on eBay. There's like a Davion Mitchell. It's listed for $70, but it's only out of 3, or maybe it's out of 5. It's out the first off the line parallel out of 5. Like I don't feel inclined to pay it because I don't necessarily love the red foil, and it's not hollow foil, and I just feel like that stuff's going to come down. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I hope that in a month there will be so many tags out of 99 or tags out of 10 and 15 and 25 that I'll be able to pick up some King stuff for much cheaper than you ever would in the past of tags or Nike swooshes or whatever.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think we were talking about that too, and how even right now the prices for the boxes are pretty expensive. So we're just waiting on the breakers to keep breaking, or whoever's buying them to finally like see like, oh, this wasn't worth the investment. They just list everything for cheap.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, I was going to say, any temptation to go after the stat line booklets? I mean, we know you've done that set previously.
There was a little bit. Adam showed it to me when it was first pulled on a live or something, and I was like, oh, those are really nice, and I really liked the full game shot on one side and the head shot on the other side. And then I started seeing what they were going for, like a Curry napkin patch for $500, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to bow out of that.
It's all over the place, and then there's like a Brunson. I've seen the prime in some of the copies numbered to 49, but I don't know if all the ones numbered to 49 are prime, or if they just like ran out of stuff. I don't know. It's so hard to tell what's going on with this.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of my issues with it is down the line, how are we ever going to discern which one was actually pulled? Is that like if you pulled a napkin of that Miles Turner you have out of 99 and decided to put a tag in there, it would blend in with some and be contrary to others, and there's just already patch swaps out the wazoo. It just worries me.
Yeah,
I think that's why Kyle's documenting everything.
Yeah, well, if it's in the first 900 that I posted pictures of, then we're good. But a lot of this stuff's on video too, so that's different than some of the past eras. Is everything's seemingly ripped on video now?
Yeah, that's a good point. I've seen so many eBay listings of screenshots from Whatnot streams as the as the eBay picture. But I think that's still a good point, Adam, though, because I think, as people get more desperate, trying to offload these things, like, and Kyle says, lick their wounds from the money they spent, maybe they are more willing to do some nefarious things to get some movement on their cards. You never know. It's kind of interesting.
Well, I think I don't think it's necessarily going to happen right now, but 10 years from now or 5 years from now, and somebody has one of those napkin Miles Turner cards, you're not going to put in enough work out of a number 99 Miles Turner card to go back and find that 47 out of 99 on a Whatnot stream in September of 2025, 5 years ago, whether it matched or not. It just is. There's too much of a kind of a gray area there, I think.
Yeah.
So are you volunteering, Adam, to be cataloging every relic from the product to make sure that we can keep track?
To the contrary, I'm going to probably just not buy any after the initial release.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So Hondo asked, who's the most random player in Silhouette? I'd say maybe like Dale Ellis, because I'm. When's the last time you saw Dale Ellis?
And he's the only one that was like, I would say the pre Panini era. I mean, like Vince Carter was a rookie in '98, but Vince Carter was still well into his career when Panini cards came out. But like he's the only one that has a smaller logo man before they switched to the standard logo man size that we know. So
The only other person I could think of older would be Charles Barkley. I saw had some patches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Oh, is he in the product?
He is.
Yeah, he's got Rockets cards. It's just in the NBA relics set though.
Like your
And a lot of
Gallinari.
it's just the
Oh,
how the Rockets had a ton of screen print on the front of their jerseys, that
Yeah.
like 96, 97 era jersey. He's got a lot of that.
Yeah. I think the most random player I saw was Gianlin, or I
Yeah.
don't know how to say his last name. Because I mean, when's the last time he even was in a product? So I think that's kind of the most random player I've seen.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like even like Haywood Highsmith is not super random, but I just don't ever see him in anything, and it's like, oh, and now he's got relic cards. It's almost like, was this like a pair of pants that was a throw in when they bought something else? Like how did they acquire this?
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So Sean puts in something about the increase in the prices. Is that a Silhouette card that you're referencing? Are Silhouette cards already on COMC or COMC?
I haven't really checked on ComC. I've really just been searching through eBay, but
Could be. Yeah, I haven't checked.
I haven't seen any relics. Let me update my relic tab on ComC here real quick.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what that comment is referencing.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any on there still. Not yet.
Speaking of random, I saw on eBay today this card. I'll actually just share my screen and show you guys. I thought this was such a random combo. I mean, I know it's all point guards and stuff, but like to have John Stockton and Magic Johnson with Trae Young, I just feel like
I saw that one.
I don't know. It's just like you couldn't put, I don't know, Chris Paul on there. You couldn't put Steph Curry or something, like Trae Young. Is he even like maybe a top 10 point guard in the league right now? I don't know, but
There's a lot of pressure on him for sure.
Adam, I know you'll remember these. They had the Upper Deck had the quads where it was like 3 like veteran or like legend players, and then there was a rookie on there, and like none of the rookies in those quads aged well, and everyone's always like, oh my god, why is Anthony Randolph or whoever else, oh my god, why is this player on there?
Yeah, I recall there being some Celtic stuff towards the end of Upper Deck's license that would be killer combos of players, and there'd be like J.R. Giddens.
J.R. Giddens.
Yeah.
Like, what are we? It's so close. It'd be like, I'm trying to think of someone. It might be Bird, Russell, Parrish, Giddens. And it's like, oh, so close.
Like, yeah, no, that didn't age well. It really didn't go over well at the time either. But
no, it's like
didn't age
Giddens
well.
had never had popularity, let alone 20 years later, 15 years later.
I mean, I feel like we're all on some level team collectors. So like Kyle or Ryan or Evan. I mean, I know Adam, you're not necessarily like, you're more on the legend side. Would that really be a killer for you? You wouldn't find any appeal to getting like a Reggie Miller and like Tyrese Halliburton with a, I don't know, random Pacer from 2006 that played for 50 games?
No, as long as it was like Pacers pieces, I love that kind of stuff. But I feel like I'm in the minority, though. I mean, most people that are going for those are not looking for the Marquise Daniels or whoever else you could put on there.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Evan, what about you? Like, would you be interested in the J.R. Giddey?
I honestly don't even know. Like, I really don't even know who that is. But
Fair.
I mean, I think it depends on the player. Like, I guess I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like Kyle said, like it's a actual, like if it's game worn, an actual piece from like Celtics history or whatever it may be. But I tend to try to be a little bit more fickle and like focus on players that I can have some sort of attachment to. So there's probably like some rare instance where I would pick up like a like a dual or like a triple patch with like Kelly Olynyk on it or something like that. But I think it's few and far between for me.
The player combos throughout the years have always been fun. I think one of the Upper Deck autograph trios when they were dumping stickers, which we still haven't. I don't know if we're in the Panini sticker dump era or if just that's what we've been living all along. But there was a triple sticker, and the players' names were all Al. That was the only reason they were on the card together. It's like I couldn't find any other connection than that. It's just these three guys. Their first name's Al. Let's put them on the card together.
I mean, this does look like a sticker dump too, because I don't think I've seen any on card. Is there?
No.
Only those insert autos.
Yeah, you pointed out the one that was inserted, the calligraphy one, right?
Yeah, the ones that are like a few players per set. Every set has a couple. It's not technically a photo or a silhouette card.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's in silhouette packs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're doing like contenders and some other things, but this is nowhere near the sticker dump that Topps. Like Topps, we mentioned Yee earlier. Yee has autos numbered to like 1,000. Thad Young has autos numbered to like 1,700.
Yeah.
Upper Deck did the UD signatures where they did the sticker upright on the card, and there were so many of those. They dumped so many stickers. So I don't know what Panini's plan is, unless they just haven't had guys sign in a while and they've been slowly used them all up.
Yeah, it seems like there's not a whole ton. Like they definitely have rookie like silhouette design, like your typical silhouette design with the sticker auto. And be careful about that because they're all non-associated. Like every single rookie in this product is non-associated, at least that I've seen.
I will give you one exception. So, and it's not in those cards. So you're right on that set, but the stat line booklets have Matas Buzelis, and that stuff is game dated.
Oh,
so that's the only one I've seen so far. But I will give them credit for that.
That's very cool. Like a game dated during rookie season. That's very cool.
Yep, it was a loss to the Pacers. So
nice.
you
got to grab that.
I know. Yeah, I wanted to. It actually sold for quite a bit more than I thought it would.
Right. Yeah, and there was a comment by Gary in the chat about the Cousins, Paul George, and John Wall triple. And I think, Kyle, you addressed it in the chat. But yeah, that's 2010 draft class. What pick was Paul George? Do you remember, Kyle?
10, I think.
Oh, yeah, Cousins was 5, I think.
I think he was 10 because I think Gordon Hayward was 9, and I was really sweating that one out.
You were hoping for Paul George, huh?
I was hoping for not Gordon Hayward.
Gotcha.
And in retrospect, I don't know which one really would have mattered all that much, but anyway, that's a topic for another day.
Both pretty horrific leg injuries for both of those guys. So.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a comment about some Raptors jerseys.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Specific Raptors jerseys.
Kind of jersey swap with Gritty from the Raptors.
Yeah, I think we probably are going to ignore those.
So I was going to ask you guys, did you collect or do you collect like the silhouettes from Preferred? Because I know I definitely do. I know you have a couple, don't you, Kyle? Like what it seems like the set was kind of based on.
I don't have a lot though. I have picked up a few of the older guys. They have a pretty strong following though. So it's mainly ones that I got early on and like there's not a lot of Pacers in them either. I have like a Chuck Person. But otherwise I don't have too many of them. They're nice though, but it's just, they've jumped around from product to product over the years.
Yeah, because they didn't stick with Preferred the whole length of the time they did it. So it did jump around. So I got a couple to show off because, I mean, here's one that I picked up from this set here, the recent Silhouette set. This is kind of the Silhouette style, right? It's got kind of the player over the patch window. It's got really dull like copper foil on this one. When I got it in hand, this is a CJ McCollum, by the way, for our audio listeners. This is a copper out of 49. But some of my favorite,
is that their version of bronze?
I guess it's bronze. Yeah, I mean, you can look at it. It's
no, yeah. I mean, I believe you that it looks copper.
Yeah, unless I hold it in the light, you can't even see his name. but some of my favorite stuff, like here's my Gary Harris silhouettes from 2014-15.
That's amazing.
And then one of my favorite cards actually is this Julius Erving. This is from what is the season on this one? I think this was 13-14. Yeah. So very similar design, but obviously the whole product isn't like that. We've got the jumbos as well, which the Gary Harris I showed off a little earlier is like one of the jumbo memorabilia patches, which they didn't have in preferred. So they're using that preferred name, but not necessarily exactly like we've seen in the past, which is kind of cool. But those are the kind of ones that I was trying to like pick up, and I'll show one more off. This is new silhouettes. This is a Shadiq Bey. I just love the patch. And so I literally threw like a little over $30 on it because I just like the patch. I honestly don't even remember if I've ever seen him play, but I just thought that was a super cool patch.
He hasn't played in a while. I think he was off all last year, I think.
I think he had an ACL injury, I was reading.
Yeah, because they signed him for like a 2-year deal, like a discounted 2-year deal, knowing that he would miss a whole year, I think, whatever team he's on now.
But, I mean, I know you and I briefly chatted about this in one of our group chats, Kyle, but it looks like a lot of that Hawk stuff that came out, and especially the jumbo patches are just amazing looking. So
those are really nice.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I'll throw a little low ball bid on it. And I think the one after that went for like 60. So I'm like, cool. I got it for, oh, look at this. We got Steve.
Oh, look, here we go. I can leave now.
Steve, you made it, man.
We filled the shoes and we can go.
We were going to say we didn't have any comedic relief this episode because you were out.
I'm sure you did just fine.
How's it going?
Steve, do you remember J.R. Giddens?
Of course, yeah. What was he, like, yeah, I absolutely do. I was trying to think of his draft class, but 05, 04, he was
It's
around
irrelevant. No, he was later than that.
That's like 08, 09, I think.
Yeah.
Was he? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm getting old.
Real old.
Why are we talking J.R. Giddens?
It was a long road to get there. It was basically combinations of players that don't make a lot of sense. So we were talking about some of those old upper deck quads.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Yeah, Giddens was on the championship team. He's got a ring, actually, now that you say that.
Here we go. Okay.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
I don't think he started a game all season.
No, he played in like 2 at most. Like, he's just one of those guys that was on the roster, so he ended up with a ring.
Ryan, you showed that Harris there. You're looking at that and the Dr. J. I know a lot of people were kind of upset when that Harris set came out that they put the player profile in the middle of the patch.
Yeah. I actually kind of think it's really cool, to be honest.
It's different, but if you want to see the patch, that covers up a lot of patch. Like he's covering up more than some cards even contain nowadays.
It is true.
I am happy that Silhouette took kind of the design that has the player on the side. I am happy they did that.
Yep. Yeah, the only one I have thus far with the actual kind of Silhouettes design is McCollum, but you're right. Yeah, I'll show it again. Yeah, it's true. No, that is true. I remember that 14-15 season, and they had him smack dab in the middle there. And if you got the wrong patch, then yeah, it almost looked like you just had the out of 99 variation that was just the jersey.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that, Ryan. It was actually the Nuggets or the Hornets, like the chunkier patches that had a lot of details. Like having that player cut that across the middle is, I mean, you give it a Celtics where it's just a little bit of green on top of white jersey, no big deal. But some of those like chunkier, more detailed patches, it cut them up pretty good.
Yeah.
But am I the only one who feels like it's at least nice when they change it up? Like I know that maybe not be preferred, but at least it's different than always making it look pretty much the same. And 16-17 when they went with that blue gradient, that blue to white gradient and the black ink. Yeah, I know it's not the best looking, but at least it changes it. I don't want 10 years of silhouettes that look like they could be all from the same year.
There were several products that year where they decided we're just going to use black ink now. And no, that was not a good move. And I'm glad they went away from that. Steve, we're all talking all things Silhouette. We got to get a Crowder update. He's got a few cards in this product.
Yeah, he does. He's got that thread set, which I'm still waiting for that 75th anniversary logo man to pop up. But I've got he's got 4 cards. I let go. Many of you are sick of hearing about it, but I let go of the 75th anniversary Nike swoosh just because just way too much money for a Crowder card. But yeah, he's in the set for sure.
What was
I've
that?
I've got everything but the out of 2, which I'm hoping is that logo man.
Does everyone have a Silhouette card? Sorry, Kyle. Does everyone have a Silhouette card at least in their collection now or on the way, or is someone still anti-Silhouette purchasing?
I'm not anti, but I have not picked one up yet. Like I made an offer on a Sabonis tag out of 10, which I probably should have offered a little more on, but I ended up losing out on that one. And then I don't think I like the Mitchell enough to offer on it. But like a Buddy Hield championship tag out of 5 went for like 250 or 300 today, and I was definitely not gonna.
No, there's plenty of nice Marvin Bagley stuff that you can be targeting.
Yes, I know. I missed out on a Nike swoosh like the first day of release or the second day of release, and I didn't know if I even was disappointed because there's just so many bad memories associated with that guy.
Adam, did you see the Derek White that ended tonight?
You're the one that you called dibs on?
Yeah, and then it just before I even had a chance to even bid on it, it went stupid money.
I didn't see what it went for. I didn't bother watching it. But
yeah, whoever bought that is an idiot.
I had a feeling it's as Evan's covering his head there, the one that talked the most smack about Silhouette and said it was trash. So
yeah, I will say I did buy that one. I did. I was the winner of that.
You paid up for that, my friend, because a very similar copy went for much less a few days ago. I mean, still big money. I mean, compared to what I paid for Flawless stuff, but yeah, you let me know when you get sick of that, and I'll trade for it at some point.
Yeah, I have that on the way, and then the Dwight. So a couple interesting pairings there.
Sorry, I'm not in the know. What Derek White was that?
It was it was an out of 5 like Silhouette without the auto. And it had the gold holofoil on it. So it was a nice looking card, and I was gonna, maybe go up to 80 on it, but Evan was like, yeah, no, I've got that young kid money, so I'll just flex on that and spent much more than that
right
on
here.
It's black jersey, green patch. That's nice.
Yeah, big piece of the C. So I had to I have a Derek White relic already, but it's unlicensed. It's from one of the top sets that came out. But I thought, he's gonna go make a push this year for maybe an all-star, who knows. So I thought I'll pick it up.
Yeah, but now don't undersell that unlicensed relic, even though that set tops 3 is garbage. We have dated that relic. We know exactly what game it's from, so that's kind of cool.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's a city edition jersey too, which I don't, you don't see too often in the cards. So I think, you did help me out with that. So definitely shout out to you for that. So yeah, no, I'm sorry guys. I should have let you know I was bidding on that one.
Yeah. You Celtics people have to communicate so you don't overbid each other.
We normally do, but these young kids, they just don't have the same decorum that a lot of us, old guys have.
Right. I didn't know if Steve was in bed already by 9:30, so I wasn't sure if I should message him or not.
Is it true that there's really not a single Nets card in the release?
Oh
no, he's saying New Jersey Nets. He's being an elitist.
Oh.
Sorry, Steve. I love you. Yeah. No, there are plenty of Brooklyn Nets in there he could buy.
Yeah, there's a ton of James Harden Nets cards, which,
yes.
I mean, by the end of his career, people will forget Harden even played for the Nets.
Yeah.
Just like people forget Dwight Howard played for the Sixers, but cool card.
Hey, it's Hall of Famer.
No, you can't forget if you're immortalized in fabric and cardboard, and that's now what they've done with him.
That's right.
And I think we peer pressured Adam to buying something, right? Didn't you make a purchase today?
Yeah, I did.
One of us.
I bought which I think I already showed.
But yeah, you showed us backstage.
Yeah, he outbid me on something.
Right, saying Pacers, and I did kind of what Evan did to Steve to Kyle. Apparently, I find a photo of it.
We all need to start a group chat. So, hey, going after this one?
Is it TJ McConnell?
No, I wouldn't even feel bad if that was the case.
It was a nice one. Yeah, I think I saw it.
Not very good at fit this. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's slick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
holofoil. Yeah, that's the true holofoil. Is
Yeah.
that an out of 5?
Out of 5, yeah.
Wow.
And I know I've been kind of quiet about my slander of the set, but I know Joey said in the comment section, the stuff I collect is mostly legends. There's none really. Dale Ellis isn't a legend to me, really. So he's cool, but not somebody that really gets my juices flowing.
Yeah.
But even the Celtics players, I know Steve and I have talked about this. I don't care about Kemba Walker. I don't care about Kelly Olynyk. Like, it's players that have no feeling to me. And then Tatum and Brown and guys like that have better cards, in my opinion. So there isn't much appeal. If there was anything in the set Celtics oriented that draws my attention, it's Daniel Tice for sure. I definitely want to get one of those. But other than that, there's really not much Celtic oriented stuff I like. But I'm a half-hearted Pacer fan just because they're the most local team to me, and I go to a lot of their games. So when I saw the Benedict Mathurin, it jumped out to me.
It's a nice looking one for sure. And
Yeah,
I
that's
do
a
like
nice
the
one.
holofoil. I think, like you were mentioning, Adam, a lot of this is defined by the holofoil. Like
Yeah.
the copper brown or whatever it is just not that good looking.
And there's a lot of red too, and the red is even worse in my opinion. I just can't do red, especially with Celtics or any team really that isn't red oriented.
I kind of hit the bin on that one quick just because I was like, it's a cool patch. I can look past the red, but if it was, anything else but that, I probably would have swayed away a little bit because it is a bit dull. And that was the red is the first off the line, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, at least the Nuggets have some red accents versus the Celtics obviously have nothing close to red.
True.
Exactly. At least on Christmas Day they wear the red armbands and stuff. So
Yeah, you get one of those sneaking in. And Adam, you mentioned that you feel like those silhouette designs are really similar to the Panini Player of the Day stuff. Is that something that you think is good? Do you like that, or
No, I did not really, because it was kind of like, I don't know, this thrown together. Like it was Father's Day rather than Player of the Day set.
Father's Day and Black Friday, Adam. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's the very similar design when it comes to like the jumbo patch that he just showed of the Gary Harris.
Yeah, I can actually share.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be good. I don't have one handy. I should have grabbed one.
Oh, I don't have one handy. I just went on eBay and found pictures. But like, this is the.
Or just be tech savvy. That's cool too.
I think that would be quite an over exaggeration. But yeah, so this is the, I guess, Father's Day you were saying.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then actually, I just pulled the one that Evan bought, so I can. Let me see. I don't know how to do
The one Evan bought isn't quite the same. His is nicer. You need to find one that is the full jumbo, no undercut design.
Similar like Ryan's one or some of the ones that Evan and Kyle were talking about a Wax and Jams episode about like they were calling it like almost like similar to the Immaculate design, like just those.
Yeah. An Immaculate jumbo.
This isn't it.
We have Immaculate here. We can.
I thought I had a Immaculate in front of me, but this is a 20. Oh, look at us, Ryan.
I think those are a year apart. I think yours is that a 13, 14? This is a 14.
Yeah, these are. I have 3 Kenneth Fareed 13, 14 Immaculate patches here in front of me instead of Silhouette, which we're talking about.
So I see exactly what Adam's saying, whereas like the Silhouette is definitely more like the promo sets where there's not as much detail, like the player accents aren't as strong, whereas like you look at Immaculate, ignore the holofoil, but there's like good player profile on there, the team name is a little more. So once you said that, Adam, you popped it up and I was like spot on. That's exactly the template they went to, which doesn't make it a bad set. But
push back against that a little bit. Because so like, let's say a guy like Najee Marshall that they didn't have a ton of jerseys for, like maybe they just had one jersey for, the material they have is the jersey they found a picture of him in. They did a very good job with that.
That's a good point.
And it was all the guys that only had like one jersey. They did that for, like James Wiseman had a very specific black Pistons jersey. They made sure they pictured him in that. Also, there are pictures on the back of every card that I've seen. I say that I should look at my Miles Turner here, but that's been a gripe that we've had for a while, is that they're not putting pictures on the back of cards. I feel like they were very intentional with a lot of the stuff in this set. So I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, that is
so
true.
Kyle, as someone that came in late, and I if this has already been covered, then I'll just be that guy and I kind of don't care. How does that make you feel as someone that has been tracking this stuff for years now and has been asking for this stuff, and now Panini's walking out the door? I was like, haha, we could have done it all along. We just didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that's what was going to happen. So it's like I would rather them at least do it for one last big push on the way out, because they've already made it clear like they weren't going back to that. So in my mind, they had already kind of died. So I was kind of happy to see this.
For me, though, it just kind of sucks that it's on the way out partially, but on a set that's kind of less design oriented, more just material oriented is when they decided to do it. And with guys like Wiseman rather than the studs of the set where they went the extra miles, what frustrates me.
It has my hopes high for flawless though. Like if
I
they,
was gonna say I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna push back again. I think National Treasures they did a huge logo man dump in that. They did a huge patch dump in National Treasures that we didn't talk about. And there's a lot of really cool stuff in there. They did like an '07 retro acetate patch auto. They did booklets where there's like Derrick Rose signed the court on the other side of the booklet. Like there was some really good stuff this year that is getting slept on. They did game dated material. So I really think 2024-25, they put a lot of more effort into their stuff than they have in the past. And I'm not a big Panini defender.
No, I understand. But
Yeah.
saying you put more effort in though than years past isn't saying much.
But we can't say that we've been asking for it and didn't get it. We're getting it this year.
But both the things like the 07 retro set and the like court booklet you mentioned have been done in football before with the football field or retro designs with acetate on top of previous NT RPAs. So it's not completely new. It's just new to basketball.
Right. Well, they've always done more in football. We just don't get it with basketball. So it's nice to finally get it.
As I was listening to some of the content recently, and someone that many of you guys know, like I just am not paying attention to modern checklists. Like if something shows up in my eBay searches that fits my need, then I know about it, but otherwise I don't. I do wonder if they're downsizing their workforce, and we're finally seeing like a consolidation of like quote unquote like the core employees, right? Because I do feel like there is a little more overlap between even the unlicensed baseball that they're doing a little bit right now, the football, the basketball, and that's not a good thing. That means people are losing their job, and we're seeing a company that is downsizing, rightfully so. They don't have any licenses, but I do wonder if it's, and I jokingly said like in F you guys, like we could have done this all along. I do wonder if it is just like the resources are being consolidated, and we're finally seeing what had they kept things. And it's not within their control either. I know I'm rambling, but like the leagues do require so much product to be put out. But had they been able to do just the creative side and kept within a business model, I think we're finally seeing what is possible if we're not trying to just pump stuff out and we've lost keeping up with like release dates and stuff. So that's what I actually think is seeing as a consolidation of their resources, and we're getting some consistency for once.
Yeah, good point.
It's a good point. Yeah. Doesn't even think of it like that, actually.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and like when I Adam, to your point about the design and stuff like that. I mean, I think when it comes down to it, for me, there are probably parts of it that could be better designed. I wish there was a write-up on the back or maybe some stats. I know I like that there's a picture, but I definitely haven't noticed any backs with anything more than a picture and saying that the memorabilia is guaranteed. But the fact that, if I was a fan of a team with any semblance of success or a history of success, like it would be great to go pick up like these unnumbered finals napkins for like the Warriors or the Cavs. And then, I mean, right now they're expensive, but I think it'd be cool. You can pick up a team set, maybe obviously LeBron or Curry or whatever would go for a lot, but you can add that stuff to your collection. And I know you guys have talked about the dual finals relics and stuff like that. Like there's just so much really like well themed and well chronicled stuff that's there that I just feel like there's something for everyone, which is really cool.
You guys want some comic relief? Like Joey, that was so depressing. Quote, if I was a fan of a team with any semblance of success.
That was my favorite part of the monologue there. I liked it.
Yeah. At least championship tag.
Can we mention you talked about how you have a championship tag, but like it's from the 51 Cincinnati Royals, like
Rochester Royals,
yeah.
That little one on there, yeah.
They don't even deserve to wear it, really.
I completely agree. I think there was a discussion when they started doing those championship tags. Like, I really dislike that they put them on jerseys like the Kings, because we have not been a good team. There's no reason that we should feel any pride in that, because it's just so far removed. Like,
if they do that, then the Pacers should get a red, white, and blue 3 on theirs too.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know. Most people don't want to go down that road.
That's even more of a stretch.
That is too funny.
So what do we think as far as like additional releases? We're going to get more of these relic dumps. We're going to get more like big superstars. You guys, that's kind of what I'm feeling is what do they got? Like Kyle, you were listing them off earlier, but we've got at least a couple more coming out through January. So I feel like, yeah, that's the time they're actually going to pull out the big guns probably for, the rest, especially what Eminence is coming up. That could be kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm thinking, especially like, we talked about how there's not any legends in this silhouette, and I don't think they have a ton of Wilt and Baylor and that kind of stuff left. And I've actually been tracking the Maravich material for a few years now. I've been kind of reverse engineering what they put out, but I do think there's some left. So I'm curious to see how they're going to use that up, because I do think. I think they're going to do some special stuff. I don't think it's just going to be like, hey, here's a retro materials little tiny chunk. Like, I think it's going to be like 3 and 4 player relics, maybe, some cool stuff that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, we saw some Immaculate, actually. The Maravich and Hondo duel, and then the LeBron has a duel with Wilt. So,
and some of that Maravich was not trim either. Like, they still had a few cards that I've seen come out that were, standard patch pieces, which surprised me.
Yeah. So, yeah, who knows what's out there still?
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Eminence, all of a sudden they drop some crazy, like, cut autos and stuff that they maybe picked up over the years since the last Eminence. Like, leave it to Panini to let us down, but I think Flawless could have some fun stuff with maybe they still have a little bit of Mike and stuff left over, Wild stuff. Even random guys like Bailey Howell left over, and then all of a sudden Eminence could be like the modern stars, like just crazy stuff. I mean, we all know they're sitting on a pile of tags and logo men, if nothing else, because we just haven't seen even LeBron. Like, we haven't seen the number of LeBron logo men to make up for all of the jerseys that they've clearly had, because they've had a lot of patches for guys like him and Kawhi, etc. So hopefully they put some stuff and the similar level of thought and talent into that stuff, and none of us will be able to afford any of it, and we'll just watch from the sidelines.
I do know when they bought the Philadelphia Wilt shorts, there was a contract in there that had Wilt's signature. They haven't used that in a card that I've seen. And then they've only used the pair of shorts was signed as well. They cut the signature in half, and they used half of it in last year's Immaculate Insignias as a 101. So I figure the other half is probably going to be used. They'll probably do another Immaculate Insignias, which we used to call Immaculate Marks. I don't know why they changed it to Insignias, because they're not the same at all. But anyway, I think that's a couple Wilt pieces that I'm going to be watching out for. I won't be able to afford, but I am watching out for those.
And even players that would get, like, and I don't know, Ryan or Joe, if there's players in your eras or teams that would get you guys excited, but like Adam and I have tried to track all the Reggie Lewis logo men. I think like they're accounted for, but that means they've had somewhere between 3 and 5 jerseys, and there's no way they've used up all of that material, even though he's been in several sets. So I think there is a potential to have both fan favorite stuff and legacy stuff as well as greats in a couple of these sets.
Oh, message me after, Steve. They've used at least, I think I've tracked 6 of the Reggie logos, because that's another one I'm tracking. Yeah.
And he's been in a couple, we won't go in, but he's been a couple of years of Flawless and then a few other like Spectre and Select stuff. But they must be sitting on a pile of his stuff then. If there's,
I think there's 7 that I know of for sure, and I've seen 6 of them, I think.
Yeah. Even guys like D Brown, I mean, I know they've had at least 2 logo men, and one of those could have been shorts, but he doesn't have a bunch of like really stitched patches either. So they could have some like really fun stuff they're sitting on.
Oh, and they knew they knew Flawless was still coming. I'm sure they knew Eminence was still coming. I mean, they're not going to create Silhouette for the sole purpose of putting out all this memorabilia and then not have stuff left over for those products. Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be some awesome stuff.
This was just to get rid of Paul Millsap and Gallinari, and
That's why, I feel like that's the caliber player that you get, which is cool for us because I'm picking up Millsap for $12, like a cool chunky patch where he didn't actually have a ton when he was actually playing for him. He did have a couple in flawless, but it's those are kind of hard to track down. I think they were 17, 18 or something. But that's the kind of stuff that excites me. So like when the Eminence comes out and everybody starts buying into bricks for that for thousands or whatever it's going to go for, I'm going back to silhouettes, man.
Yeah, I guess they're saving Jeff Foster for Eminence then.
Yeah. I was even thinking like Silhouette could have been like a test product to at least see like garner interest if how many people are actually interested in relic and patch cards because most people are or most collectors these days are interested in like the rookie card, the rookie chase. That really isn't a big emphasis here. I mean, there are rookie cards in here and there are base cards, but they're really not the emphasis of the product. So I think the success of how high these boxes sold out for, like you said, like was the floor was 230 and it got over to 1,000. So I think it just shows them that the interest is there. So hopefully that kind of motivates them to put as much effort into this set as what they have coming out for the next couple of months.
I'll use a Kyle line, so I'll push back on that a little bit. Only because like they've had to have this stuff mapped out already. Like they're up against the deadline, and to get like I think anybody that saw that Eminence was dropping was had a little WTF moment. Like really, they dropping that on us too. But all this stuff they've had to have like with printers and stuff months in advance. So ideally, what you said would have been great if they were doing this 2 or 3 years ago to test the market and say, okay, in addition to kabooms and downtowns and shiny prism cards, is there a market for this stuff? And we would have been like, yes, please. But this is really them just, I think, literally liquidating stuff. And to the point where I think even some of the foil they're using is just whatever they've already purchased through their like vendors for printing. No, I'm not like it. That sounds
Yeah.
funny, but I think they're using some of the blue hollow foil and out of 2 and out of 5 cards and stuff. Just they're liquidating inventory right now, and so anything they've decided for relic cards was decided well in advance of this release.
Can I ask something? I know we're up against the hour, and I know we talked about how the prices of some of this stuff. Because UD did a big purge on tags, if you guys remember, right, during 09-10 SP game used, and they had really high numbered tags and stuff. I don't actually follow the market on that. I don't know if that stuff is crazy expensive. My question to you guys is, do you think those patches that are really unique, like tags and swooshes and stuff like that, do you think those are the sort of things that after, like, I think Kyle, you mentioned like 1-in-1 is getting open and stuff like that, as we move away from the release of the product will decrease in price? Or do you feel like I should jump on it if I find something now because tags are always going to be coveted? And if their purge was any indication, then 10 years from now, and especially with the flipping and repacking and stuff going on, like, is this stuff that's always going to hold a high premium and may potentially just always be expensive?
I don't want to give explicit buying advice, but I think there's going to be a window. I think you're going to want to wait until the market floods here at the end, and then maybe jump on some of it if it's available. But that's a dangerous game to play, because then you might not see, theoretically you might not see those cards again. Although, a lot of this stuff is pretty, there's a lot of it out there, but it's probably worth waiting a little bit. That's a really tough game for me to play, though. I get FOMO.
Yeah, I've been really trying to be patient.
Yes. Yeah, I think I agree with what Kyle's saying, especially as some licensed top stuff comes out. I know there's already been a leak of the new Topps Chrome with the logos on it. I think if some player named Aza Newell like leaked a picture of his superfractor or something like that. So I think even that people will kind of shift focus to that as those products come out too. And I think that would be a time to possibly swoop in and buy some Panini stuff.
I've got something to add, Adam, but as someone that collects a lot of that upper deck stuff, do you want to chime in before I go?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like some of the stuff from that era is inherently rare just because it was rare at the time and it was the first time you had an opportunity to buy it. So, like, as an example, I have like the Oscar tags and a couple of the quads, and I have like a Jerry West tag. Like, you don't see Jerry West tags or Oscar tags prevalently in the hobby. On the flip side of that, I have one that maybe has, I think, Duncan, Kidd, Carter, Iverson, I believe. You can find a tag of those 4 guys at any given time from any number of products. The uniqueness may be them all together, but most of the value there is just that the fact that they're tags. But you could find something similar somewhere else. So, like, I think it really depends on the situation. For an ultra modern player that's in this new product that's going to continue to be in products with Tops as they come out with brand new jerseys, it's probably not a race to get it. Now, if you're talking about a guy who doesn't have a ton, it might be the time to get it because you probably won't see new jerseys being bought by fanatics and put into the product, would be my guess. So if a player is retired already, use Gary Harris as an example or something. If you're going to go after Gary Harris stuff, this is probably your last time to strike to buy it.
Yep.
If you're going to buy Jason Tatum, you're probably going to have a lot more opportunity to buy him in any amount of quantity, sets, years, better designs, whatever you may want. And to combat my devil's advocacy of not caring for this product a ton, if it was all legends and had crazy stuff I've been looking for, I would be much more keen on it. So the designs don't do it for me, but if they were the cards that I chase rather than the cards that some of you guys care about, I'd be in the same boat. So I don't think it's terrible. It's just it isn't as exceptional as the excitement around it, just because it isn't my thing.
Yeah. And I think, Adam, you said a lot of what I was going to say. Like, I think one thing to keep in mind is that Panini has, I think, out of all the vendors to date, has done the best job with relic cards in NBA basketball. They've had the most quantity, they've had the most variety of players. So even the late Upper Deck, or I mean, Tops didn't do as much, but they just weren't getting the quantity of jerseys that we have seen through the Panini era. I think they've done a very good job, which means it's more available. Another thing is, I would say, is someone that wasn't collecting in 08, 09, 2010, I started right after, but has been buying stuff afterwards. Some of those cards are aesthetically very unappealing, and some of the player matches over time haven't held up, right? So like a lot of greats in there, but like if I see a card with a John Stockton patch in it, I'm not so like interested in it. And so I think over time having like multiplayer patches and multiplayer relics, but also I think what gets Upper Deck its premium is they might have only had 1, 2, 3 jerseys where I don't even know, I couldn't even tell you how many Paul Pierce jerseys Panini's had over time. So if all of a sudden they dump a bunch of Paul Pierce tag cards or Paul Pierce KG tag cards or Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum tag cards, those are likely to be more prevalent than any sort of Larry Bird, Kevin McHale tag card would have been. So I don't think you can really compare eras in that regard. As far as there were less people collecting, there was less product, there was less push. This whole era is much, much different. We're in the steroid era right now, right? So it's a different environment. So I wouldn't do the compare and contrast. I'll end on a cliche. It's the last thing I'll say, although we need to wrap it up soon, is collect what you like, and like the stuff that's good will hold up over time. And Jay Crowder cards won't hold up over time, but I like them.
And that's okay.
It's great.
All right, Ryan, you want to send us off here?
Yeah. I think that's a good thing to end on. I appreciate everybody listening in. I will have a edited down version as soon as I'm able. Put some cards up, and comment below on the video if you're watching it with what you're picking up, what you're excited from Silhouette, and we will catch you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Be well, guys.
See you guys.